So it's time now for our final presentation of day one and a chance to look at what are widely considered to be TAPA's greatest contribution to supply chain security, the TAPA standards. Now, as most of our audience will know, 2023 has been a big year in the evolution of the association's security standards, with the launch of the latest revisions of TAPA's facility security requirements and trucking security requirements going live on September the 15th, following the introduction of the latest version of the association's parking security requirements at the start of this year. Now, to discuss the standards in more detail, it's my pleasure to welcome to the studio Marcus Prinz, Senior Manager of Standards, Training and Certification at TAPA EMEA. Marcus is also going to be bringing us up to date with the training support available to companies who are adopting the TAPA standards for the first time, or those planning to increase their certifications across multiple facilities. Keeping with our technology theme, he'll also be explaining how TAPA EMEA is using AI to support more local language versions of the training courses, which we had a hint of earlier today. And he'll be discussing the prospect for new standards in the future. Marcus, do join us. Welcome so much and thank you. Over to you when you're ready.
Thank you, Sam, for the nice introduction. Also, welcome from our studio here in Goch. It's a pleasure for me to give you an update what occurred this year, what has been happened, also what plans we are going to do and what insights we do have to share for you. What has changed in the FSR? So the focus was on adjusting terms, retention periods, responsibilities, authorities, but also explanations and definitions. Last but not least, the influence of trends, figures, data and facts, through which the adoption of CCTV technology and video surveillance software has been changed from recognizable to recognition of facial features. This was a major change. And of course, I remember we discussed that really strong in the Worldwide Change Control Board team. But also adjustments that were exclusively the responsibility of the central function in the last revision, which has now also become the focus of the single site, was really important. So parallel to the FSR revision, we have also, we have of course overcome all the hurdles surrounding multi-site certification over the past 2 years and have also drafted a new guidance document for multi-site certification. So I'm proud and also honored to publish also today our EMEA first multi-site handling guidance document, which you can also download and check out from today from the webpage. Ongoing in the download area under the FSR standards. And especially here again, a big thanks to Ron and our standards sub-team who prepared and brought together all the relevant information. But not only that, we also introduced and updated a new guidance document design. Plus, we created a new and clean design of our AA certificates and the self and partner certs. Important, so we changed the design with a new layout, so stay tuned to find out more about FSR standard update and register for our new Synthesia avatar training. Thorsten mentioned that already this morning. We have really invested a lot of time in new solutions, in a new concept, and that's now ready to use. So, which over 300 members have already done in just under 6 weeks after release. Beside the virtual trainings we provided already in August, what means we trained almost 500 members with the new training material already. And in the next step, we will directly translate the standards as well as the FSR and TSR training programs. And we start first with the French translation, followed up with the German translation, and then also we continue with Italian and with Spanish language. And very probably also optionally in Turkish. That's also a new direction for us, so let's wait and see how easy or how complicated it will be to update this Synthesia tool, but we will keep you updated. This also concerns the local language of the avatar, the subtitles, as well as the summary films. And that's also new for us. In the past, you always have seen only the English version. And we are going in the direction that we are coming closer to our local teams and also to all the local support. So that we also have at the end of each module the wrap-up film, and in the future also the exam is part of the local language translation. So all in all, a quantum leap in the development process. And finally, of course, not forgetting our updated and adapted audit forms with the free text and options and explanations of intent that supports our audit buddies to get more knowledge and information also on each and every requirement. Let's close the FSR topic and let's move on to the TSR requirements and what has happened to the TSR this year. Also here we rolled out the revision of the standard since the 15th of September, and we added here as well some new features. We divided in different vehicle categories, in different appendix documents to offer our members a better overview and if necessary to have the flexibility to add a new vehicle category if necessary. We also readjusted the number of samples during the audit and added more explanatory information to individual requirements. We also have a new enhanced option for the alarm and theft protection in the side walls of the loading unit. Of course, freely selectable and only for individual needs, like all of our enhanced options. In addition to that, the upcoming translations of the standards and training programs into the planned languages, we will also initiate the revision and update of the locking guidance and telematic guidance documents. And we are planning to do that in spring 2024. So a lot of things are already went on. And we are by far not ready. We have a lot of things on our screen for the future. And if you would like to support us in revising these documents or have experience with the mentioned topics, please get in touch with me or let me also introduce Satya, my dear colleague, and forward him a message by end of November. So stay tuned also for these revisions in the spring of next year. That brings me to the PSR topic. PSR, our goals, and Thorsten mentioned it as well. By far, we are looking for more sites, we are looking for more parking place operators, and of course earlier this year we also have already launched the PSR 2023, and I hope you have also seen and read all our previous Vigilant newsletter, where we have of course already shared some more information, especially related to the SSTPA program and the connected funding call, as well as we referred to some more numbers, data and facts. I hope you have seen also the FAQs. Panna has given a lot of answers on relevant topics. But if you know investors and our parking place operators who need support or more information on the funding application, please feel free to connect them with Panayotis or with myself. In any case, the focus and major goal is to attract more parking place operators to join our programs and to convince them about the opportunities and the possibility of combining the SSTPA standard cert of the European Commission and the TAPA PSR cert program with only one audit, because we have combined both standards and presented them clearly in the new PSR 2023 revision. Unfortunately, the market for parking places operators is still a bit cautious, but it will remain our top priority to continue steadily increase the number of approved parking places in our TIS data bank and to support our members to reach out and to get more information and to find parking places which are really important also to fulfill the TSR standard. And in this context, we have, of course, pulled out all the stops to qualify two of our existing IABs for the European Commission SSTPA program, and even agreed and added a new IAB player. And this player will only focus on the SSTPA and PSR programs. Of course, we will also update you on that as soon as we have some more details about the approval status. So we have to teach them, we have to train them, we have to qualify them, and of course, then they have to reach out and to apply to the European Commission. Further part of that initiative will be also to generate interfaces to the various booking platform operators in the TIS Tour. And you know a lot of them. You know already, we have heard Bosch, we have Snap, we have Otra, and a few others. And we will connect them in the future also with our TIS tool. That gives our members the flexibility and the benefit to search and directly to book the right places via the TIS tool and an API connectivity to each provider. I think at least you recognized we were already really busy and we are still busy. We have a lot of things on our radar, on our plate and on our screen. And together with the entire team, and Thorsten mentioned also already all our supporters like Satya, Neetu, Panayotis, Tamara. So we have the team, we have the power, and of course we will support you as our members in further steps, further translations, and of course a lot of other things in the future. That brings me to the training developments. Also here, Thorsten mentioned we are going in the direction of artificial intelligence. We have new languages on our screen, and we have, of course, new solutions for you. So for participants who have not yet registered or participated in the new training experience, we have switched our training to an avatar concept at the next level, and also in using new translation software based on this artificial intelligence. With this approach, we will also be able to deliver our FSR and TSR trainings in 4 different languages over the next 4 months. And again, I started and mentioned we continue with German, followed up by Italian, and then French and Spanish. So this concept not only provides for the translation of the speaker texts in the respective subtitles, but our own training avatars, which are partly used, will also explain the details and content to our members in the respective language and will be concluded with a local off voice of our web-app videos. So stay tuned when Thorsten, Massimo, Panayotis and myself will explain the standards to you in local language in the future. Furthermore, these training courses are then completed with the exam and the authorized auditor qualification in the respective national language. This is of course intended to overcome individual language barriers so that the participants can fully concentrate on the content itself. And let me also briefly thank the entire team, as mentioned, around Tamara, Neetu, Satya and Pana for their great efforts in creating this training material. We also have our sights set on developing and optionally releasing a new driver training next year. So stay tuned, we certainly won't run out of ideas. But if you also have ideas or needs in the area of training, please feel free to contact me to coordinate any options. By the way, we also carried out this year our individual and exclusive face-to-face driver trainings for some of our members. And before I forget that, we're currently also busy with digitizing our PSR 2023 training and will also make this online available by January 1st, 2024 at least. SSTPA trainings will continue to take place virtually also in the future, and the corresponding dates will be updated on our website again in a timely manner. And another addition to my matter, please don't miss our new teaser videos on how to handle and use the training vouchers, or how to create or register a new training participant on the website. And please remember that we also offer our FSR and TSR support and preparation webinars for the exams every month. Further, please keep in mind that the training period is limited to 3 months after receiving the dial-in credentials for the Tenet LMS tool, and the pass rate for the exam is 80%, which means that 32 of the 40 multiple choice questions must be answered correctly. That's only a side information for those of you who are going into their training programs. Let's conclude also my update with the future of other security standards. So let me now complete today's update with more information what we are doing next. In the next step, we will discuss with other regions how an EMEA-wide orientation can be made possible concerning the use of cybersecurity standard. Thorsten touched that as well. In addition, and upon request, we will also look at the regional GSR APEX standard and analyze in more detail whether any use for the African continent could appear helpful. We will of course keep you informed about this no later than the second quarter of 2024, latest then with our face-to-face conference in sunny Amsterdam. So you see, I hope to have given you an update on what our team is working on the interests of our EMEA members, and that we certainly have a lot planned to offer you support in all matters relating to the supply chain. And the entire team and I are happy to help you at any time. At least that was my short and brief update. Of course, we haven't touched all the information about the new revision standards, but also whenever you have more questions, whenever you have a need to get also information what really has been updated, contact me and we have a separate document to support you on that. Thanks.
Marcus, thank you so much for that update. And as always, we do have a lot of questions on the TAPA standards. You just said anyone can contact you if they have questions that we don't cover, but I have a few I'd love to go through. So if we can go through those now. Let's start with the standards themselves. With the latest 2023 revisions of SF, FSR, TSR and PSR, are there any new requirements that make it more difficult for members to gain certification?
At least, and I've mentioned or touched it a bit, we have now a change from recognizable to recognized facial features. That's at least, and also a lot, we discussed that several times in the Worldwide Change Control Board team, due to the fact that it has an impact and increase also on investments if we're doing such kind of changes. And then we agreed, in the earlier days we discussed from recognizable to go in the direction of identifiable. And that means we need a lot of more cameras, we need some more investments, and for big players, they have already 100, 200, 300 cameras, it is a huge invest. And that was the fact that we then agreed and decided to go for facial features. But that also doesn't mean that each and every camera needs to have this solution. At least we need the concept that a visitor or someone else get recognized and we get these facial features in the camera on one of these sites or different places. And then we can recognize afterwards, okay, that was this person. We have recognized the eye colors, we have recognized the hair color, and then we can also connect it.
You referenced the new FSR multi-site guidance document today. How does it differ from the product-specific guidance documents of the past, such as the locking, CCTV or telematics guidance documents? And when will it be available?
Yeah, this is a good point, of course. From today ongoing, it is available. We have already uploaded to the webpage. And it's not a typical guidance document related to the CCTV or to the locking guidance documents. It is more, we are sharing experience now, experience we made, our audit buddies made, and we covered that now together with the team in one document, and give with this document also our members the support to think about what they need, what they have to be in place before they roll out or continue in that direction.
Let's talk a bit about training, because of course that's another key aspect of TAPA's standards programme. How has the new avatar training concept, which you've spoken about, been received, and how is it going to be developed further?
Yeah, it has taken at least 8 months in the past, and of course we created our own avatars, and yeah, we started now with the English version, and it is the difference compared to previous trainings that we provide now in the future also different languages. And we're starting with the 4 languages: French, German, Spanish, and Italian. And of course, after setting these languages up, then we check what new directions we are going, what other languages are needed. But for us, it is a milestone. And also it is a milestone that we have now the whole training in one language. In the past, it was only subtitle support, and the web-app videos were still in English, and the exam was also still in English, and now we are changing everything to the local language. And I think that's, from my point of view, a great step ahead to support our members in the different countries.
And have you had any response from the members or the feedback on it?
At least what I've heard right now, but we rolled out only in English, but it is really, yeah, we got really good response. And one difference also compared to the previous training is that we have now intermediate questions. So we stop also some of the learners to go quickly through the modules. They first have to answer on some intermediate questions, then we check out if they understand the content before they can move directly straight to the next module. It's a kind of hurdle, but it supports at the end the members to pass the exam. And together with the webinar, I'm really sure that we give enough support that everybody can support or can pass the exam.
And with all the different online training options now that are available, is there any need anymore for face-to-face training?
We are providing also face-to-face trainings still, but only upon request. Of course, we see in the future the flexibility of the online trainings for each and every member. We give them 3 months time, and upon their time or upon their free time, they can continue or start, continue, stop in between, can do breaks and then continue again. So with the 3 months period, and of course, we do not have unlimited licenses, and we have already right now roughly 300 up to 350 learners in the tool. So we have to take care a bit that we do not give them too much time, that we are not running out of licenses. But yeah, I think the figure speaks for themselves right now, and we trained already, and 2 months after, nearly 2 months after publication, we have already 500 trained members. From that point of view, I think it's a good sign.
Something you also talked about was the translations of the training materials to make those more accessible to a wider audience. But will the authorised auditor exam be available in local languages in the future?
Yeah. So this will be, the exam will be also in local language, and the certificate design is completely new. We redefined the complete design of all the certificates, of all the training material, and yeah, it is now also in local language available.
And finally, let's just have a couple of quick questions relating to PSR and the e-safe and secure truck parking areas standard. Why is the number of security parking places listed in TAPA EMEA's TIS tool so relatively low compared to FSR and TSR certifications?
The issue is, of course, there are a lot of parking locations available. The problem is more that they are already fully booked. There is no need to invest in documentation, to invest in more measures as long they are fully booked already. And of course, we have a data bank of nearly 1,900 parking locations, but we cannot share the details as long as they are not approved. And that's the difference between the partner program and the certification program. Of course, we have also partners listed, but we ask for an application on an annual basis. So we are getting always year by year updates about the security measures and if this security standard is still in place. And that's the reason we can only approve and add these kind of parking places to our TIS tool as long as we have the responsibility of each and every owner to inform us about the security measures. Due to the fact we don't like to see any member or to send any member to a parking location which is not approved, and our members expect at least some minimum criteria, some minimum security measures, and if we do not have them in place, then it's harder for them to use them.
And just to finish, let me ask you if there's going to be another EC funding call in 2024 to support the development of more secure parking sites in Europe. And if so, can you tell us more about the scope of the funding or the time period that operators need to apply within?
Yeah, the current call is open till, if I'm not wrong, until the 20th of January. So that is a really limited time to prepare, of course, all the documents, all the preparations, and for that reason we expect, of course, there will be another call in 2024, and we expect that it will be at the same time, September up to January. And what we suggest and what we have already done, we contacted investors we have in our network and informed them already. Be prepared really early due to the fact as earlier you get documents, approvals, as faster we can speed up this process. And of course, we can support also members or parking place operators in attracting or at least and supporting them on the approval process. But we expect also more fundings and the higher fundings in 2024 as in 2023.
Well, Marcus, we'll leave it there, but thank you so much for bringing us up to date so comprehensively. Thank you very much.
Thank you.